Hey nonprofits, I wanted to share a video with you as real time as I could make it to share some marketing tips of what to do during coronavirus. I know that a lot of you are probably on the front lines and you're responding to things in your community real time. And if you're not working with a marketing company or you don't have a dedicated marketing person, it can be very challenging to know what the heck to post, what to do. So I wanted to give you a couple ideas. And if you have any specific questions, please leave them in the comments right now. And what I'll do is after you've watched the video, if I didn't address one of those questions, I'll create another video to respond to some answers for what you're specifically looking for. But the first thing that I want to do is encourage you to remain positive. And I know that's one of the hardest things to do in a time like this. But I want to remind you that as a nonprofit, you are seen as someone who's credible, someone who is an inspiration, someone who is helping your community. And so the more that you can be positive and have that trickle down to your supporters, the better you'll be in a position to help people. And whether that's just mentally or actually through providing your service, I want to encourage you to remain in that mindset or to try as best as possible to remain positive. So from a marketing standpoint, what you can do is maybe get some quotes, some feel-good stories, and share those with your community right now. Anything that is, getting people a little more lighthearted or giving them hope and positivity is something people are consuming. And as you know, most people are working from home or they're stuck in their homes with a quarantine. And so they're on social media, they're looking at their emails. This is a great time to put something together to share that positivity and maybe even share that impact that you've been making through what you're doing on the front lines. So that's my first tip, is to share that positivity. And to create some good stories around what you're doing right now. The other thing that I want to encourage you to do is to update your website, create at least one social media post, and to send an email about how your community is being impacted by coronavirus. So whether that's the fact that your team is working remotely, or maybe you're a social enterprise and you had to shut down your operations, I really want you to be transparent with your community about what's going on. And if you're suffering in terms of, you're not getting as many donations as you were, or you've had an increased demand because of coronavirus and you don't have enough staff to support, whatever it might be very transparent and communicate that to your supporters so that they can help you. There's a lot of people right now that are in a position to help. And so if you frame things, not as like, hey, we have this fundraiser right now, which if you're providing relief or, you do need to have a fundraiser, go ahead and do that. But this is more of a positioning where it's just telling people the real that's going on and allowing them the opportunity to help. Something like, if you're able to help us in this critical time, which would create X impact within your organization or community, we'd love for you to donate. So that's another tip. The third tip that I want to provide to you is to go on video. So share updates through video. Maybe it's daily, maybe it's weekly, but the more that your community sees a face, connects with a person, understands what's going on, you're going to start building more of those relationships, and people are going to remember that once this has passed. And it may be a strategy that you continue to use for your nonprofit. So those are really the critical things that you can be doing right now. Sharing positivity, whether that's through quotes or stories of how you're impacting the community, making sure that you have some kind of communication updated on your website, social media, email channels, and making the connection of coronavirus in your nonprofit. What impact are you seeing? Be very transparent, be real time about this, and let your community step up and help you. So if you have other questions that I didn't address, please leave them in the comments. I wanted to make this more broad just to give you guys a little bit of a pulse on what you can do. And the last thing I'll advise is if you have marketing in place, maybe you have posts scheduled out for like weeks or a month or whatever it might be, do not just let those go out. You need to pivot your strategy. You need to make real-time adjustments The worst thing that you could do right now is to not acknowledge that this is going on, or to not acknowledge or communicate how it's impacting you. So again, I hope this is helpful. If it is helpful, please give us a thumbs up so more nonprofits can see it. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will create another video to answer those for you.